What's up, you six sons of bitches? Welcome back to another episode of the Sex Angle. This is your boy D.
And it's your girl, CJ.
And it's no safe words, Brandy.
Can we not do that while stroking your own breasts
No
at all?
safe words.
No.
It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe.
Are you doing? That's not Omarian's. That's the icebox
boom,
move.
boom, Turn the lights on.
Oh my god! Disclaimer.
Wait, disclaimer.
Disclaimer. Get out of the camera with that. Anywho, welcome back. Today's episode, we kind of touched on it a tiny bit on one of our old ones, but we're talking about when is the right time, I guess, to do the deed, have sex with your newly found crush, boyfriend, girlfriend, person you're dating or whatever, talking to. What do these kids say now?
I don't know because I heard somebody say there's the stages that they're talking about now.
It's different.
There's talking.
Yes.
There's dating.
Yes.
And then there's being exclusive, and then fiance married. So there's 5 steps now.
That's a lot.
You could be talking to a lot of people, but their definition, the way they split it, their talking and dating was our shit combined. Because if we was talking to somebody, that's who
you were dating.
That's who we go with. And then we roll that into 3. We're exclusively going with each other.
Yeah. If you talking to me, nigga, you ain't talking to nobody else.
Pretty much.
Period.
So they split that shit up.
Yeah, because ours was talking, dating, exclusive, all in one, and then it was fiance marriage.
They split that shit up now. So you got a trial period with the talking.
Not the trial.
You got a trial period with the dating, which people can still see other people. And then you decide, okay, if we're being exclusive.
That's too much.
I think they got it right though. Motherfuckers is crazy. So sometimes you need a try. You need a,
I guess.
I just don't feel like I say some, because I've changed my mind about this. Because I know it's been like 2 years since we talked about this before. I don't feel like some people need a trial period with sex included. Because if the sex is bomb, you are not going to have a clear head, literally.
Say it again, bitch.
You will not have a clear head when you're trying to really figure out if this person is somebody you should have around or try to build more with. You'll just be addicted to the high of being with them physically, but all the while they're treating you like shit.
Devil dick.
Devil dick. They always say good dick is not attached.
You need that 90-day return policy.
But that's the problem. People don't be trying to return it.
Yeah. They want to hold. They want to keep it and then move on to another thing at the same time. That's where the problem is right now. But like, I don't know. So I'm no longer on the market, clearly. So I haven't been in a minute. So it's mostly you guys. But so with you guys dating,
she spent a lot of time on the market. So
first of all, I wasn't on the market. I was on the streets.
She was the streets. Yeah. The original Lori Harvey.
This bitch was on the streets and I didn't mind it. Back in the day, it wasn't so crazy. You could, like, back in the day, people would say like sleeping around, it was still like you was chilling with that person. It wasn't like wham bam thank you ma'am. Like you was just chilling, having dinner, like, it was like dating but on a lighter level. I
understand, because I still feel like, and of course I'm only going through my small worldview. I still feel like sex is better when I know you a little bit. I don't have to know like your mama and them's nickname and all the rest of this deep shit about you. But if I know you a little bit, I just feel like by default it's better because there's just some type of other chemistry there rather than I met you at a bar, I don't know you, so we're just gonna figure it out. That's odd for me. Yeah,
I mean, I've had a few of those. Look, I mean, it's all right, but it is better if you know the other person and you're more comfortable too. Like just having like buddies that are there for just that reason.
And that getting to know them, like I probably wouldn't have said this when I was 25, and now the bitch is 35. That getting to know somebody could be like, 2 or 3 days of talking. Yeah. And you decide, yeah, I'm cool with you. I feel comfortable. Okay.
Brandy said a couple hours. Shit, it was a couple hours.
Not a couple of hours.
We'll say this. Now, people may not want to be real about this, but depending on how attracted you are to a motherfucker, that time frame definitely.
What did I always say? The difference between sexual harassment and flirting is if you think the other person is hot or not. He has heard me say this for years.
I ain't gonna put her business out there. One of my homegirls, and not the one some of y'all would think, But one of my homegirls who keeps a very low profile, she done got flued out to the island somewhere.
Come on, bitch.
Because she video chatted me while I was in the gym. Like, bitch, where you at? And I was helping her pick dresses and stuff. And she was saying, now, I'm still going to make them work for it and blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, that lets me know you're just not all the way there yet as far as how attractive you feel like he is. You feel like he's nice and you want to see where it goes because you know you'll probably do this with him, but you don't want to do it too fast.
Right.
I said, but I bet money if he was somebody that was your type, if he was
for
Elba,
sure.
Dwayne Johnson, I said, probably fucking the first night. If we've already been talking and you fly me to some island and I find you that attractive, like, what's up? My panties been wet on the plane. What's up?
Not wet on the plane. I'm done.
You said I ain't bring no panties.
So, okay, let me ask you this.
Panties? Which ocean you want to swim in? Me
in
or
order
like,
for it to be the first night, do you think it has to be a combination of looks and money and other characteristics, or would you go with just looks the first night?
I'll speak for two. I'll generalize women, even though I don't speak for all women. I'm about to speak for all women, and then I'll
do it.
For me personally, you would really have to like sweep me off my feet on some shit. And I'm talking about almost like some mind reading shit where it's like you really did your homework, or you got me some bomb gift. You take me to a place I've always wanted to go. The conversation,
like you listened to the conversation we were having.
Yeah, I mean, really, it really would have to be like, wow, like I ain't never had nobody. Because to be honest, when I think about it, this is gonna sound like
dang, that face you just made. She said,
yeah, because I was like, this is gonna sound really sad, but I've never really had a guy truly, in my opinion, like really court me, like court and romance me. You know what I mean? It ain't never, at least on my book, it ain't been no flower cards, candy, I'm really after this girl thing. It's just kind of been me like, well, I'm deciding I like you. And I'm just taking as is, but I've just never had this kind of, wow, he just blew me away with how he courted me kind of experience. So I think if I had that, and then on top of that, if he was just like, you know, does your kid need, you know, gas money for the car, lunch money, or whatever, just being really accommodating, I think that would be harder to say no to. And I think a lot of women would feel more okay with themselves for busting it wide open for someone like that versus some guy that was just like, hey, girl in the red shirt in the parking lot of the club.
That's true.
I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
And then I say all that to say both guys could still be assholes that never call you back.
That's true.
But one just put more work in than the other. And
at least he put in the work, I guess.
For the person that's doing the work.
Okay. What about you, D? What about like in gay culture? Because I feel like there's more hookups that happen. And maybe I am stereotyping, and I'm sorry if I am. But I have a lot of gay friends, and I feel like they hook up with each other a lot. Quick.
Yeah, it's like
he said, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking free for all everywhere you go.
Right, because it's literally
one night. Like I'm talking like there are facilities that you can go to where you could just see
look at our faces. Like,
no, seriously, there's a facility like bathhouses you can go to, and it's like
I heard about
everybody
those.
can get it. Anybody can get
Not
it.
everybody can get it.
It's just a big ass room where they could just go and it's a free.
There's multiple rooms, CJ. There's a whole bunch of rooms.
Oh my god!
It's like a whole.
It's with stairs.
I can't remember who was telling me.
And with stairs, there's mazes and pools and shit, and anybody can get it.
Oh my god!
So that goes to show. Yeah, there are some people that want the romance side, but I mean, I'd say 80% getting it in.
I mean, I'm not surprised because when I was in Okie, I was at SMBs all the time, like every weekend. I swear to God. And those boys, like, there was it got a little catty because sometimes they would hook up with each other's other person, even though they weren't dating them. You know what I mean?
Oh no, you still very much feel ownership. More so if the dick is good,
right?
It's kind of like, oh no, like I may not want you,
right?
But that dick I feel like is mine, or that mouth is mine. Like
mine.
You don't put that on nobody else. You get territorial like that.
But see, okay, so here's my other question before we go on a break is, do you think it has to do with like your love language too? Because you know what you said, Brandy, earlier is like people being flued out or this and that happening, because sometimes when it's that new, you can't tell what their love language is. And we can't tell, you don't know if they're doing their best, even though that's not your best. Do you know what I'm saying?
When it comes to just the sex thing, I think that has more to do with the XX chromosome people.
You
Because when
right?
it comes to the XYs, the gays,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I
Y'all
don't give
don't
a
don't
care.
fuck
nobody
about
give a
that.
fuck.
No,
Don't nobody give a fuck because it's
There it
too
is,
much
people.
testosterone.
Straight from the
that's
horse's
you know
mouth.
what? Because at the end of the day, even though a lot of gay men get played like we're not even going down the rabbit hole, but like feminine, and then I be
That's
Mhm.
thinking if you
still a
got a
nigga.
problem with what'd you say?
At the end of the day, that's still a nigga.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's still a man. So of course they fucking like crazy because now you don't have the same
That's
type of
true.
loopholes you do with a woman that may be
Right.
like, no,
Oh,
and this
you're
and
right.
that. You
You're
got two
right.
dicks that are like, let's go.
Let's go.
That's true. And that's why there's
And
that
there is
joke about
no.
lesbians moving in together all the time because their hormones just, we love each other. We love each
They're
other.
so chill. They make the
Meanwhile,
best like
I'm like,
party
I
snacks.
could not like move in with a woman. I would probably have sex with a woman before I moved in with a woman. Like that would be insane.
I would have an issue. I don't know.
No.
I really like hanging out with lesbian couples. They're really cool. I don't know
Yeah, they
why.
make the best party snacks. I'm telling you, like you want a 7-layer dip, get you a
Bitch,
lesbian.
they got
You
you.
want a
It's
dip,
bad.
baby
They
dip?
got you. Just I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back.
And welcome back.
All right. So where were we? Where were we? So love language
Talking
is
about
what we.
love languages and sex and when the fuck.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, if you know your love language, like, right, my shit's changed. So I used to be um quality time and something else, and quality time is still important to me, but now it's acts of service and gifts. Those are my top two. So
Gotcha.
the
So yours
guy,
have
and then
changed.
also it depends on how thirsty you are for what you've never had. So if a guy's coming in and he's leading with the gifts, he's leading with the how can I help you? What you need help on? Because there's
Mm-hmm.
some men out there that are like, you'll be like, hey, I can't. I've had guys ask. I've been like, hey, I'm busy. Like one guy just was pressing me to come to New York, right? And
Right.
he was like, I said, I'm on a vacation time or this, that, and the other. And I remember at that time talking to him, he was just like, how much for 3 days off of your job? And I will pay for you to come out here.
So you don't lose
And you
money.
tell me where you want to, like already setting it up. So it's kind of like when you're, especially when you're single and a single mom,
Mm-hmm.
you're used to being the boss and doing everything yourself. For
Right.
someone to come along and they're like, hey, let me take something off your plate. Tell me what you're worried about, and then how can I help? Man, men out there ain't doing that like that. They worried about themselves.
I sometimes I come across those videos on Instagram or TikTok where they're the younger generation is discussing like relationships, and I can't remember who it was, but these guys and girls were talking and they were like, well, why does the guy have to pursue all the time? Like they're doing this switch thing where they're like, why can't the women talk to us? Can't and that's a huge thing in Japan right now. There's a bunch of beta males happening and alpha females happening, and people are not getting married in Japan right now. It is really
I remember
crazy.
you telling me about that.
Right? So now I'm seeing this happening over here where the guys are like, why can't they treat us to something? Why can't they do this for us? Which I'm just like, okay, but I guess also if you want like a 1950s woman, then you got to take care of her like she's a 1950s woman, right?
That part. And
Right.
it
So if
seems like a lot of men kind of
but they're
want
not willing to put that
this,
part into
this
the
type of
system.
wife, or they're like, oh, the women, like back in the day, like Coretta
Mhm.
Scott King, and then you're comparing us to these women, but you're not those men, right?
Right.
You're not
Right.
handling business like those men, but you want these type of women. Who
Yeah.
a lot of them were still getting cheated on and probably treated a certain way during that era
Oh,
anyway.
absolutely, because they
Because
can
they
have their own credit
listen,
card,
didn't have their
nothing.
own, so whatever, but they were taken care of. I think the issue with a lot of stuff going on now is I think there's a class of women, and I've had to kind of stretch myself out of it, where you're still expecting a man to pay for and take care of most things, but most of us are going to end up in a household and situation where you're doing what you can, not do what I can, whether it's 50, 50,
Absolutely.
60, 40, we're both going to have to contribute. Unless you get with like a real high earner, you're both going to have to contribute. But I still think there is this stigma of men need to do a bit more and they need to pursue. And
Hmm.
then women are still held to the standard of, yeah, you're working, or yeah, you're going to school, yeah, you got your own business, but I still expect you to do the traditional wifely thing,
Right.
do the kids and everything else. So we both got stuff we're fighting against. But in regards to the sex and initiating all that and who does what first, I think all men are still kind of expected to
They are.
pursue that first and kind of open that door first with the straight women's. I
Right.
don't think that kind of thing is going to go away anytime soon.
I don't either. I just there's lots of traditionalists still out there who like think that way too, especially out here down south. So
Yeah, and think
Well,
about
I
if
think
like somebody was coming at you really hard about how they wanted to have sex with you and it's in a way that you weren't expecting. Like I don't think a lot of men would be turned on like they think they would be if women was like, yo, let me see that dick. Like bust it out right now. Or if we were as forward as some of them are. They wouldn't that's not cute
send me a
to
dick
some of
pic.
them. What'd you say?
Is it send me a dick pic? Like
Yeah, we were
they're
just
gonna
like
be
well, you know what? You know what? I
What?
beg to differ. I think they would be down initially, but afterward they would shame her for it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
I
not
feel
I don't
like
think they're as okay as they act like they would be
I
with it.
think they're gonna feel emasculated after a
Yeah.
while, right? Like I feel like
But
most
think
men would.
about how they attack the women that are vocal about
Mhm,
I will
that's
take
true.
this head and bread and leave. They're witches, they're bitches, they're wrong, they're not wife material, right? You
Right.
don't like those girls that basically grab their own pussy and say, I'm gonna do what I want with this shit. You
Ah,
want to shame them
it's true.
because they know what they like.
Yeah.
And they're not afraid to say you ain't measuring up or I've had better dick or I've had better head. And they may not
Oof.
say it as straightforward or rude, but you just don't like hearing that male ego is so fucking
Oh
fragile.
well, that's the reason why they can't be number two. We always talk about that shit too, where
Oh
they
my
can't be the
god.
side nigga. Although that's starting to change a little bit too. I see from social media aspects, it looks like side niggas are popping off now because like
Some
You
men
talking about
honestly
entanglements?
don't care.
entanglements. Well, because they're like, I can have this extra pussy on the side, and I ain't got to do all the work because she's just extra pussy. You know what I'm saying? So they're kind of like cool with it. Now, a while ago, if a nigga found out that he was a side nigga, he'd be up in arms because he was like, well, I ain't nobody's number two. But that's starting to shift a little bit too.
And
The
if
same,
anything, if like somebody plays their cards right with that, if you did have a guy that had a bit of an ego, or both the guys you were seeing had ego about it, you could wind up with double good dick and double good head because they're trying to outdo each other.
well, damn, that sounds like somebody's been through it already.
I have not been, not someone's been through it. No, I have not been through it.
No,
But
I'm just
men
saying.
are like egotistical in that way. With I, it's almost like I wish they cared as much about other stuff as they do with how good is my sex. Tell me how good I am in bed. They don't care about the rest of the shit as
Well,
much.
they
You're kind of
don't.
like, oh, you're hurting my feelings, or could you help me pay for this, or blah blah blah. I don't want to hear that shit. It's like, tell me the dick is good. Tell me I'm the best.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Well, what about in the gay community? Because I feel like if it's both guys with the similar caliber, like who's
Mhm.
paying for what? Like when you guys
In
go
every
on date.
situation that I've been in with just me,
Uh-huh.
it's been almost like a 50-50 type of deal.
Always?
Unless there's a big gap in earnings. Like there
Oh,
was this
okay.
one particular entanglement that I was
Entanglement.
in
I
where,
was about to say situation.
yeah, a situationship where this fool had like multiple businesses.
Right. Oh,
So
yeah. Yeah.
you remember who I'm
I
talking about?
remember who you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah. So in that situation, it was like, I got it, or let me take care of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Based off of just
Did
we
it
made so
feel
much.
weird though? Or were you cool with
That
it?
shit felt nice. Anybody bought me shit before?
Come on,
Let's go. Let's go.
Come on, it feels nice. I
Say
don't know
he got
what
Why the fuck-
flued
that shit
out.
like
I
that.
got flued out. Come on.
Right.
D got flued out. Is that how you got to Puerto Rico?
Ah,
That's a whole nother story with
Puerto
that
That's
situation. That's for a future episode. That shit
But-
was hilarious.
but that's why it's like, so like, I don't know. I don't even know what the rules are. So basically what we're saying is if the timing is right and the nigga is hot or the girl is hot, we gonna sleep with them on the first night.
I think most
Right.
people would.
Yeah. Do you
Most
think
people, yeah.
do you think people
Nowadays.
are actually even waiting to do the 90-day thing?
Well, you know what? I
I
think it
don't
depends
know.
on what your intentions are with this person. Because if you're out of town and you're never gonna see this person again, get it
Right.
in, smash, smash, boom, boom.
What about in
Bam,
town?
bam, take
Not
it.
so much-
You know what I'm saying? But if it's somebody who's like lives close by that you're gonna see often, I think people would be more prone to take it a little slower
Yeah.
because they actually want to make it last. They want to make it work, so they don't want to fuck up a good thing. So I think It just depends on the circumstance.
Like you said, especially if you're gonna see him, I think that's a good point. Because again, like 2 years ago when we talked about this a little bit, I would have been like, no, not that I had like rules as far as 90-day rules, but like CJ knew, like I had a list of gotta be this, gotta be that, or not this, not that. It was the whole list. And then when I started dating actively again last summer, was it? Yeah, I want to say when we kind of got to start to go out again or whatever. Just kind of leaving that alone and really being like, okay, let me just experience this for what it is and just see how things naturally flow. Now, I did realize very quickly, if a guy finds you very attractive, he is trying to go for it, like,
right.
Period. And I'm still naive in a lot of ways because I really be thinking, oh, if I'm going to somebody's house, like we're really gonna watch a movie or you're really gonna cook for me.
Girl, you are crazy.
Like, oh,
what?
No, I know.
What? How old are you?
I know. Apparently 12 sometimes when it comes to this real shit. I will never forget. It was like maybe our 4th time going out, and he was like, "Oh, I want to cook for you," and I was like, "Oh, this will be nice."
No, it's the 4th one too. He nigga was ready.
Well, yeah, because the time before that, I was just like, "Whoa," because you ever making out with somebody, and then you can kind of tell they hands get to places you was not ready for.
Not ready for?
Hey, I wasn't ready, and it wasn't like I wasn't horny. It was like I literally kind of like to be on display, so I'm like, I didn't get myself together, so I'm not ready.
Right.
And anyway, so next
I used
time
to do that on purpose if I didn't want to sleep with somebody too.
Yeah, and then until you realize some of these niggas don't care. Like,
True.
And I quote, because I was like, oh, I didn't shave. And then I quote, I'm a grown ass man.
Yes, come on, grown ass man.
Okay. Yes, you are. I will shut up now.
You said a period don't stop nothing but a sentence.
But I did. I thought he was just gonna cook, and
what man, that's the most naive thing I ma'am.
Dead ass. Like I swear on my own grave.
Ain't no nigga about to cook for you, make you like watch like movies
I
without.
literally thought we were gonna chill. And then like I did think that. And Demetrius, hey,
did he have like food ready to go so he could just get to the dessert really fast? Or
no, it was actually like we cooked together and he went to his grill. I was there for a minute. So I was like, okay, normally when we chill, we're chilling for like 2 to 4 hours. So we're actually talking and chilling. So I was not thinking, oh, he's trying to break me off tonight. I was not thinking like that.
He
definitely was. So to those of you that may be a little green, or maybe you got into something super serious in your younger years, like your 20s, and you didn't really date, if a nigga invites you over his house, he plans on smashing. He's
been planning. He been planning. Like the second date, he was like, "Man, I'm gonna work this one in."
Probably the first one, because I remember after the first date, I'm thinking I'm going to the car, or whatever. He grabbed my hands. He was like, "We need to see each other again. Like, check your schedule."
See, he was already in it. He was in it to win it. To win it.
That shit was hilarious.
Well, shit. If you guys have listened to this, please tell us what your rules are. If you have any rules about your dating and sleeping with people on their first date. Do you wait 3 weeks? Do you have to have 3 high fives from him? I don't know.
3 high fives. Like CJ said, how fine do he need to be for you to do what you need to do?
Because that's not a lie. Because if he's fine, I've had fine where I'm like, let's go. Let's just go because we're not gonna miss this opportunity, not this window.
We're not gonna miss this opportunity. But I have pulled what Demetrius said, where if I feel like, I really like you and this could be more, it's like, I don't want to move too fast in that instant.
No.
So I will kind of pump the brakes on that. Cause it's like, I want to explore this more and not get caught up in, oh, let's have sex. And then judgment's clouded because what if something happened?
Shit was good.
Yeah. So I'm trying to,
I think my problem was like, I started off with fuck buddies. So I didn't start off with boyfriends. So I've always been like a street child. And shut up, D. D knows a lot of stories. So,
he's seen the faces.
He's lived with one of my exes because he was living with one of the faces. Yes, he's lived with one of my crazy exes.
I would just always be staring that guy in the face like your face was in CJ's vagina, wasn't it? She likes warm cereal.
Shut up with the word cereal.
I'm never gonna let that shit go.
Yeah, she threw that into the copy last week. I can't. I used it too. But anyway, seriously, if you guys have rules or something that you really do abide by, let us know in the comments on YouTube below. Or if you're listening, go to our page on the Triangle on Instagram or Facebook and tell us all about it. You can DM us, PM us, or if you want to write us an email, you can do that at thetriangle@gmail.com. That's th3 triangle without the e @gmail.com. So if you have listened to us thus far and loved us so much, make sure you subscribe to your favorite podcast platform. And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that notification bell so you get our episodes every Thursday and Friday, every week. Sometimes I'm a little slow. I do work a little hard outside of this. I don't know. What are you guys fingering? What is that?
The button.
What
You're
button?
doing the subscribe.
Oh my god, that's a
Notification
lot.
button.
That doesn't look like that. It looks dirty. But anyway,
If someone's doing this, like, you need to stop. If that's the technique, stop it. What is
sweat the
that?
technique.
What is that?
drumline on your titties, like I can't.
I'd be so mad.
I can't. Anyways, stay woke, stay blessed, stay logical and safe. If you're black, stay black. If you're not, POCs and allies unite. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.